Welcome back to Rexall Place in Edmonton, Alberta. Rangers and Edmonton Oilers set to go. Closed captioning of tonight's game is brought to you by the New York Lottery. Hey, you never know. John Giannone, Joe Micheletti, Dave Maloney with you, and John Tortorella looking on, looking for his third straight win this season after going 3 without a win in the early going. And he's facing, on the other bench, Tom Renney. 164 wins as the Rangers head coach, the 4th most in franchise history, now in his 2nd full season as head coach behind the Edmonton bench.
Well, and Dan Girardi, there's no surprise, he's on the ice. He'll be on the ice for just about half the game tonight. And John Tortorella wasn't sure exactly which line he was going to play Girardi against. He was going to wait and see how things pan out in the early going, then he'll make his matchups. And as far as the Edmonton Oilers, this player right here, Ryan Whitney, is back in the lineup. This is his 3rd game back since suffering an ankle injury last December. He only played 35 games a year ago. He's a very important player for this Edmonton team. When he got hurt last year, he was playing close to 30 minutes per game for Edmonton, so they're happy to have him back on a full-time basis.
Well, John Tortorella loved what he saw from the line of Boyle, Preston, Fedotenko, so they will get the start tonight. Girardi and McDonough on defense. And we'll see Eric Belanger centering Magnus Piarvi on the left, and Sam Gagner, who's back in the lineup for the first time this year, had a high ankle sprain in training camp, so he makes his season debut. As you take a look at Ruslan Fedotenko, and that line played very well the other night in Calgary, created scoring opportunities, were in hard on the forecheck. John Tortorella liked what he saw.
He thought they were their best line.
Referees, Mike Lego, Justin St. Pierre, linesman Steve Barton, Greg Dvorsky, and we're underway here in Edmonton. Game 6 on the season for the New York Rangers, 2-1-2 on the year. Edmonton Oilers are 2-2-2, and the lineups are brought to you courtesy of GMC. As we have a touch-up for icing, we played 13 seconds.
And this is a game where John Tortorella has talked about players like Brandon Prust, who one of his strengths, of course, along with Brian Boyle, is to get the puck in forecheck. They want to play this game in Edmonton's zone. They feel that, again, it's a fairly young Edmonton defense. They feel that they're going to need to put pressure in Edmonton's end.
Face-off win for the Oilers. Puck dumped into the far corner. Big hit there as Ryan McDonough rubbed out along the boards, but Dan Girardi backhands it around. 44 is Corey Potter, former Ranger draft pick, signed a contract here in Edmonton and has a spot on the Edmonton blue line.
He's played well, really done a nice job since signing here. Of course, Tom Renney knew him from the New York days, and they needed help on defense. They signed Corey Potter. He's been very steady for them. He's played the power play, and they're very happy with the way he's played.
Played 8 games as a Ranger, spanning 2 seasons. Scored 1 goal for the Rangers against the Pittsburgh Penguins. Also played 1 game for the Penguins last year when he signed a contract with them, and now a full-time spot on the blue line for the Edmonton Oilers.
Now, Pittsburgh had all those injuries last year, but they didn't have any injuries to their defensemen. They stayed healthy most of the season. That's why they were one of the top teams in the league last year, and so Potter not much of a chance to play there.
Delzato around the boards, and that's Derek Stepan. Looks for an opening, winds it around the other way, and Marian Gaborik. The line Richards centering Gaborik and Stepan. Delzato and Eriksson on defense. That pass up the middle, intercepted by Ryan Jones toward the net and deflected away by Lundqvist.
It's a good start by Edmonton.
94, Ryan Smith, back where he wants to be, back where he belongs. In Edmonton, the place where he grew up, puts it out in front. That one back to the blue line. The wrist shot through traffic doesn't get through as Cam Barker's shot was stopped, and Brad Richards goes left side. Ryan Callahan on the ice for the first time, puts it toward the net. Andy Sutton, the former Islander and former many other, got in the way of that one. 4 is Taylor Hall. Tried to make a move around Girardi, couldn't do it. Here's the line we talked about at the beginning of the night. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins centering Taylor Hall on the left and Jordan Eberle on the right.
I was watching an interview by Jordan Eberle a couple of games ago, and he was talking about the young kids on his line. He's 21.
The old man of the group at 21. 18, 19, and 21. Dubinsky now right side. Toward the net, that one deflected into the netting. No further play as Andy Sutton got his stick in the way. Well, we invite you, as always, to join the conversation during the evening. Send us your questions and comments via Twitter. The hashtag is NYR. And also, send your questions for Ryan Callahan. He will be with Dave Maloney at the end of the first period. So join us throughout the evening as we put Twitter to use on a Saturday night. Ranger line here is Chris Newberry centering Mike Rupp and Eric Christensen, who has about 25 or so family and friends. Christensen from Edmonton. They're here at the arena to watch him.
He learned his lesson years ago about not buying all 25 tickets.
Lundqvist able to see that wrist shot through traffic make the save, and Steve Eminger backhands it ahead. Eminger and Brendan Bell. Bell playing his first game of the year for the Rangers. This is him. 39 gets his skate in the way and deflects the pass and takes the puck. Dave Maloney is downstairs, Dave.
Well, a couple of things here. You know, we talked to the Edmonton people this morning, and what they want to do is funnel things towards the net, a lot like Philly. You know, when you think of Philly, and everything funnels to the net. Rangers get on their heels of that opening face-off in their own end, and Edmonton's done a nice job here. Not a lot of shots, but a lot of traffic around the net, Joe.
Well, they love to skate. If they can skate it over the blue line and make plays, they'll do that. If it's not there, they've just dumped it in forecheck.
Gaborik with speed through center. That shot stopped by Hobby Bullen, bounces high in the air.
Well, Gaborik's going again, isn't he?
Ryan Smith through center, dumps it in. Lundqvist stops it, but Girardi misses it. Opportunity in front. Sean Horkoff went to backhand, and it popped right over his stick. Now right back in, Jones goes right side for Smith. Drops it off for Horkoff, back to Smith. Good play by Girardi to intercept that centering pass.
Now you talk about Ryan Smith. As he said before the game tonight, he said, you know what, I'm home. And that's nothing negative about, and he's talked about the Islanders treated him well in LA, but he's back home. This is where he belongs. He's one of those players that just seems to fit here, right?
Callahan through center, his wrist shot sails wide. Dubinsky after it. Winds it around, and Isamov bodied off the play, and pinch in by Michael Del Zotto to keep the play alive. Behind the goal line for Callahan. Callahan double teamed, and Isamov joins the fray, and puck pops out to Horkoff. Through center, deflected ahead, no icing call, so Tim Erickson back for it as both lines change. Rangers get Boyle, Prost, and Fedotenko back on ice. Brandon Prost in front of the Oilers bench, slides cross ice, Del Zotto dumps it in. We've played 5 minutes, no score here in Edmonton. Glad you're with us on a Saturday night. John Giannone, Joe Micheletti, and Dave Maloney as the giveaway. Fedotenko put it in front, and Hobby Bullen scrambled back to make the save.
What a save. He was out of the net, threw out the right leg to make the save on Fedotenko.
Fedotenko along the boards, down low for Boyle. Rangers, this line especially, did a good job keeping possession in the zone the other night in Calgary. Now Edmonton goes the other way. Stay on side, Jordan Eberle left side. Girardi after him. Back to the point for Ryan Whitney. Former first-round pick of the Pittsburgh Penguins. Whitney left point. Rangers intercepted Fedotenko through center.
Ryan Whitney last December, it was December 28th to be exact. He was just skating, didn't even get hit, caught his skate in a rut. And there was a dislocation of a tendon in his ankle. He had to wait a month to get to Charlotte, North Carolina, to have the doctor that they wanted to do the surgery in order for him to do the surgery. And it's been, I think he said 310 days since he's played in the game.
Possible 3-on-2 here for the Oilers. Put on the brakes, shot toward the net, stopped by Lundqvist, who traps it in his body and holds on. We played 6 minutes and 14 seconds of the first period. Nikolai Hobby Bullen had to make a sliding, scrambling save to keep it scoreless.
Yeah, I mean, I try to approach this summer and then try to focus on this year. You know, get ready over the summer and come in training camp in a good shape and with the right set of mind and be ready to go. I feel pretty good out there, so hopefully we can keep it up.
Yeah, he talks about feeling good. He's been skating good since the first day of camp. You look at just dynamic speed. Skates past everyone and gets a good shot. Hobby Bullen has to make a good glove save.
Oilers line here, Anton Lander centering, Ben Eager on the left, and Leonard Petrol on the right. That's Eager, 55 after it.
He was signed in the offseason. They wanted to get more toughness to their team. So Ben Eager, even though he was dealing with a concussion in training camp. He's back playing for the Oilers.
One of 10 first-round picks in the lineup tonight for the Edmonton Oilers. And here's Eager with an opportunity, but Brendan Bell alertly hopping back into the play and sticks it away.
Well, when you have back-to-back 62-point seasons, you're going to end up with the first pick in the draft.
13 is Cam Barker down the middle, and his shot doesn't get through as Callahan heads the other way. Right back to take it, Barker into the zone, but Taylor Hall a step ahead of the play and offside.
Well, we talked about Brendan Bell. He's in the lineup because he's a better skater than Jeff Woywitka. He's got more quickness to his game, and they just felt that against this team they would need that, and this is a good recovery here. As Bell is able to get over and make the defensive play. When he was sent down to Hartford, he was playing close to 30 minutes a game. And with John Tortorella, he doesn't like to have players sit too long without playing.
Sent in by Sam Gagne. He and Delzato come together. Referee involved as well. Now centered for PRV, but sticked away by Callahan, who gets it back and heads through the center zone. Eriksson deflects it back, and the Oilers reclaim possession in their own zone. 7.5 minutes gone by here in a scoreless first period. Cam Barker off the boards. Won a Stanley Cup with the Chicago Blackhawks and has since come to Edmonton.
He's a player that they're hoping gets back to being, at least having the status that he had when he got drafted. Drafted number 3 overall by Minnesota back in 04. And went to Chicago, got traded from Chicago to Minnesota. Actually, was drafted by Chicago, pardon me.
Right. Yeah, I stand corrected as well. He did not win a cup. He was traded during that cup-winning year. Here comes Gaborik right side. Waits, holds. Now cross ice. McDonough down low. All the way through, and Richards was camped out at the right post, but wasn't able to swat it in. Step on toward the net. And now Gaborik after it. Corey Potter after him. Good play by Potter, and that cross-ice pass from Jones still in the zone. Derek Stepan through center. And now McDonough chips it ahead. Stepan at the end of a long shift, wheels and goes to the bench. Boyle, Fedotenko on as well. Now Steve Eminger puts it right back in the zone.
There's been a pretty good pace to this first period, but neither team getting many shots.
Bobby Boulin losing an edge. No harm though, 9 minutes in. Oilers with 3 shots on goal, Rangers with 2.
Bobby Boulin had a terrible season a year ago, but he is rebounding well. He's getting pushed for the starting job, and he's playing back-to-back games for the first time this season. Tom Rennie had been alternating on a game-by-game basis with his goaltenders.
Taylor Hall through center, now right side. That shot sticked away by Lundqvist. Back to the left. Schmid with a hard slap shot that Lundqvist is able to see and stick away.
Devin Dubnyk, by the way, is the other goaltender for Edmonton. That's also has started off playing well for the Oilers.
Round around for Brendan Bell. Hops over Christensen's stick. Rangers have Newberry, Christensen, and Rupp on ice. Defense pairing of Eriksson and Delzato. All the way through, Ben Eager with another opportunity. Has a step on Delzato toward the net, tries to go short side, and it deflects wide and into the netting, and there's no further play. Brad Richards had an opportunity parked close to the net, but it remains scoreless midway through the first. Welcome back to Edmonton. Let's take a look now at our EA Sports player profile. EA Sports NHL 12 is in stores now. And tonight we profile the #1 overall pick from this summer's draft, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, one of only 3 players in the NHL so far this year to have a hat trick. Phil Kessel, John Tavares, the others, and what a terrific young player. Still a decision to be made on whether he'll spend the year with the Oilers or go back to his junior team in Red Deer, and that's something that has to be decided by next week.
They can play 9 games, and then the decision, if he plays his 10th, they lose. They have to count him, and so, boy, the way he started off, At least as of right now, the Rangers will be penalized. This will be an offensive zone penalty for tripping. Marian Gaborik will be the guilty player. And Gaborik in quickly. And there's the stick to the skates. Down goes Andy Sutton, who is also a free agent signee by the Oilers. And so the first power play of the game goes to the Edmonton Oilers.
So Gaborik for tripping, 10:31 the time, and it'll be Shorn Horkoff on the face-off. Dubinsky wins it. Callahan after it. It's Dubinsky, Callahan, McDonough, Girardi to kill the penalty for the Rangers. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins with the puck. Slides it for Hall. Instead, it bounces back. 14 is Jordan Eberle. 4 forwards on the power play, plus Corey Potter for Edmonton.
Now, Corey Potter has shown that he can shoot the puck, and that's why he's become a staple on the #1 unit for Edmonton.
Aggressively after the puck, Callahan intercepts, and he's able to slide it down. Rangers will get a change. Boyle and Prust, Eminger and Delzato on for the Rangers. 45 seconds gone by in the penalty to Marian Gaborik. Brandon Prust, first one to it. Nugent-Hopkins able to allow the Oilers to intercept. Now Corey Potter looks for an opening, can't find one, gets the puck back at the left point. Now Eberle. Back to the point. Potter. Cross for Horkoff. Cross ice it goes. That one toward the net. Deflected, and a great play by Eminger, who sticked it away as Eberle had an open net.
Was that ever? Good call, John. You picked that one up. That was a wonderful play as there was a wide open net on the short side. And Lundqvist made a good first save as that first shot was deflected on its way to him.
Coming up on 30 seconds remaining in the Oilers power play, the first of the night. Down low, Magnus PRV. Muscled off the puck, Sam Gagner in there, as well as Ryan Smith.
Look for this unit for Edmonton just to get the puck to the net, especially with Ryan Smith on the ice.
Barker pinched down low, now comes cross ice for Ryan Whitney. Gagner for Whitney. Toward the net, wide open, what a save by Lundqvist! Sliding side to side, and he absolutely robbed PRV.
How about that simple play? Just throw the puck at the net with a soft little wrist shot. That's all it was. And Lundqvist continues with his play. This is absolutely fantastic. And then just prior to that, the defensive play by Eminger right there with a wide open net after Lundqvist made a good deflection save. Wow, what a play by Eminger. That's being in position, having your stick on the ice, and looking around so you know where the puck is. Perfect defensive play by Steve Eminger.
Every game so far this year, we've seen Henrik Lundqvist make a save that makes you say, how did he get that? And there was tonight's contribution already.
He just, you know, they have to show him save of the week. Every week he just keeps coming up with something. But it's more than one per week. They have a lot to choose from.
Penalty to Gaborik is over. Teams at full strength. It's Gaborik on the ice with Richards and Stepan.
And that's what John Tortorella was talking about this morning, wasn't he, John? About, you know, how can we not play him because of how hot he is, the way he's playing, the fact that he's getting points for the team as they're trying to get their game together. And they're just going to stay with him, and he's certainly not tired at this point.
Oilers out shooting the Rangers 7-2 in the first 13 and a half minutes.
In fact, in talking to Tom Rainey this morning, he says he just thinks he's the best goaltender in the game.
McDonough up the boards. Ryan Jones beats Gaborik to the puck, winds it around. Horkoff now behind the net. To the point for Whitney. Winds, fires, sails just wide with Jones looking for the deflection in front. Jones after it. Ryan Smith. Good back check there by Mike Rupp, who intercepts, but only to the point. Potter's shot fanned on, but Oilers maintain possession. Sharp angle shot. Lundqvist stands tall, makes the save. Another opportunity paddled away by Lundqvist. Toward the net again, Girardi able to get there.
Now this is definitely a line for Edmonton that is not a perimeter line. They go to the net. Jones goes to the net. Smith goes to the net. Horkoff is the center on that line. Shots are now 9-2. favoring Edmonton. It's been a while since the Rangers have had a shot on goal.
Eminger off the boards for Rupp, right side. Mike Rupp's shot is stopped by Andy Sutton. Good defensive positioning there by Sutton, and the Oilers will look to break again. Sutton ahead, Lundqvist sticks it to the corner. Eminger will be there first. Battle ensues. Newberry, but only to the blue line. Now the Rangers able to clear the zone. Dubinsky after it. Rangers will get a change so that the Dubinsky line can reunite. Anisimov to the puck in center. Spins back, Dubinsky after it. 5 minutes remaining. Opening period, no score. Shots are 10-2 in favor of the Oilers.
Cam Barker broke his stick as he was making a pass out of his own zone.
Delzato at the point. His shot hits Dubinsky, who has the puck. Wheels, goes cross ice, and good play to get in the way there by Jordan Eberle. But the Rangers intercept again. Callahan looks for an opening left side toward the net. Anisimov was parked at the crease.
Taylor Hall now is without a stick to forward as he gave his stick to Barker.
So the Rangers with some pressure, the Oilers forced to dump it down and take an icing call with 4:25 remaining in the first period. Still no score. Well, Thursday, the transformed Garden comes alive for the Rangers home opener. Join MSG starting at 6 p.m. as Chase presents the Rangers blue carpet. Then Nissan Game Night will get you ready for the Rangers and Maple Leafs. It's the home opener presented by Chase. Thursday night, right here on MSG.
Long shift for number 13, Cam Barker. He has to stay on the ice because of the icing call. Let's see if the Rangers can take advantage.
Rangers put their checking line, plus Fedotenko and Brian Boyle. That's Crust after it. Boyle gets there as well. Looked like Barker was hit with a stick, went down, got right back up though. Went right after Brandon Preston, cross-checked him to the ice. Play continues with Girardi in his own zone. Bobby Boulin around. And here come the Oilers the other way with speed. Good cross-ice pass. They look to make another pass, and Gagne had it slide off the stick. Fedotenko through center for Brian Boyle. Gains the red line, dumps it in. Rangers go for a change.
Gagne was drafted as a centerman. He's just 22 years of age. But because of the centerman they have in the lineup, they're using him on the wing.
Rangers have Richards with Stepan and Callahan here. Down the boards for Richards. Now, looking for an opportunity. Stepan toward the net. That one hit the traffic in front. That included Ryan Callahan. And now Sam Gagne through center. Brendan Bell. Lost for his defense partner, Steve Eminger. 3 minutes remaining in the opening period. Fast-moving first period. Shots are 10-3 in favor of the Oilers, but it's still scoreless. Now Gaborik hops on, so he joins that line for a short time and stays on ice as the Rangers put Anisimov and Dubinsky on. So a little bit of line tinkling here late in the first period. Horkoff for Ryan Smith. Poke checked away by Girardi. Now Ryan Jones deeper for Horkoff. The captain of the Oilers centers for Smith. It hits off the skate. Rangers look to break the other way. Dubinsky for Anisimov. Has an opening down the middle for Gaborik, just a little bit too far. Now Dubinsky steps out in front, puts it in front, and Horkoff able to intercept.
Horkoff's a good defensive player, and he was in good position there. Stopped the pass with his skate and cleared the front of the net.
Rangers get another change. Boyle, Prust, and Fedotenko back out. Inside 2 minutes remaining in the first period. Nugent Hopkins leaves it for Taylor Hall, but he leaves it for Fedotenko. And here come the Rangers with Boyle. Boyle tries to work on Barker. Using his strength, leaves the puck behind. Fedotenko takes. Down for Prust. Trying to spin away. Brandon Prust still with the puck. Delzato, sharp angle shot. Bounces around, and the Oilers come the other way. Taylor Hall has some room. Good back check from Fedotenko with help from Eriksson. Scramble for the puck continues. Puck held in by Tom Gilbert. Now Nugent Hopkins looks for an opening, instead puts it deeper, and Tim Erickson is there. As we approach the final minute of the first period, don't forget, coming up at the end of the first, the Delta Intermission Report. Dave will speak with Ryan Callahan. In front, opportunity, and it bounces just wide as Lundqvist was able to push it to the far post. Oilers still looking inside the Rangers zone. Gilbert shot glove side, high and wide. Now Callahan off the boards. Rangers can't clear. Now they do as it gets to center and beyond with Derek Stepan.
First period's gone very quickly. These two teams have gone back and forth, up and down the ice.
Vladislav Schmid takes a bump from Callahan to the point. Brendan Bell's hard shot stopped by Hobby Bulin. Stepan was there for the rebound, but Hobby Bulin covers with 19.2 seconds remaining.
Well, the shots on goal, 11-4, favoring Edmonton here in this first period, and that's kind of the way things have been for the Rangers. Their shots differential in games has averaged about 10 fewer shots for the Rangers. And as far as Brian Boyle is concerned, you can see his game picking up as well. He told me this morning he's been watching video. When they go over video, sometimes he just watches himself. He doesn't watch what the coaches are actually showing. And he says he noticed himself standing still a lot, which wasn't the way he played a year ago. He's been getting back to skating more and being more aggressive in the last few games.
Centered. Horkoff was there. Final opportunity with 5 seconds remaining. Toward the net again. That one bounces away. Now down from the point was Corey Potter, and his slap shot ripped high and wide as the buzzer sounds to end the first period. Potter with an opportunity to score against his former team just missed, and after 20 minutes, the score is 0-0.
Well, that man again has had a very solid first period, made a couple of spectacular saves, and for John Tortorella, he continues to talk about finding a way to generate more scoring chances. They didn't have many in that first period, but they get out of the first period scoreless.
Oilers with a shot advantage of 11-4 through 20 minutes. Coming up on the Delta First Intermission Report, Dave will speak with Ryan Callahan. We'll have another edition of the Audi MSG 150 with Bill Pito, and then Bill and Ron Duguay will examine the highlights and analyze what transpired here in a scoreless first period. Rangers and Oilers, no score on a Saturday night here in Edmonton, Alberta. And again, 11 shots on goal for Edmonton unofficially. 2 scoring chances for the Rangers and 7 for the Edmonton Oilers, but no score, in large part because of what Henrik Lundqvist was able to accomplish. So no score through 20 minutes. And we begin the Delta Intermission Report downstairs. Dave is with the captain, Ryan Callahan. Welcome back. Getting ready for the start of the second period. Rangers and Oilers scoreless here in Edmonton. New York Rangers hockey is presented by Chase. John Giannone, Joe Micheletti, Dave Maloney with you from Rexall Place, the site of some of the great all-time Edmonton Oiler teams, and there's the architect of those teams. 5 Stanley Cup championships in a 7-year span, and the current president and general manager of the Rangers, Glenn Sather, and joining us now, one of the members of that team, and Kevin Lowe, great to see you, president of hockey operations for the Edmonton Oilers. Pretty entertaining first period from your team's perspective.
Well, we're a young team, and we need to play at that pace that you saw tonight. We don't want to spend too much of our time in our own end, and I think the Rangers maybe caught us. We caught them off guard a little bit, but I think you'll see it. Hopefully not a different second period, but I think the Rangers will step it up here.
All right, we got some trivia. It's our Cadillac trivia for the evening, and the question is, maybe you have the answer. How many players have won the Stanley Cup with both the Oilers and the Rangers?
I think it was 7, wasn't it?
7 is the guess, and 7 is the answer. And there's the 4th one on the list. Anderson, Bukaboom, Graves, Lowe, McTavish, Messier, and Esatikinen.
Kevin, I know this has been a rebuilding process for you. What are you seeing now with this team in this process that you're going through? How close do you think they are? You're still very young, but boy, oh boy, do you have some good young talent.
With the holes we filled in this past summer, Joey, we're starting to see a team. You know, I'm not sure how good we are. We're only 6 games in the season, but our defense is better. The goaltending's been better. We've got some toughness. We've got, great leadership in guys like Belanger and Horkoff and Smith. So You know, but we've got to get through the cycle a few times. We've got to play everybody to see. But we're going to be a better team than last year. I can guarantee you we're not finishing 30th. And we can only hope to be in the hunt for a playoff spot come trade deadline.
Hey, Kevin, Dave Maloney down here. I had the pleasure of meeting and talking to your son at the Prospects tournament. He was a pretty poised young man, a lot like his mother, I guess, huh?
That's right, Dave, yeah. Thanks for going easy on him.
Yeah. Hey, listen, I know there's, you know, there are buildings to be built in the rink, and it sounds like, are you making progress here with a new building in Edmonton?
We got a big vote this week, Dave, and if all goes well, we'll be digging a hole in the next 6 or 9 months. So we're keeping our fingers crossed, but it sounds pretty good.
Kevin, do you anticipate the decision for Ryan Nugent-Hopkins to be a difficult one? Do you want it to be a difficult one, I guess?
It's going to be very difficult. You know, he's such a wonderful talent. He's going to be an unbelievable player. I tell everybody his upside is Sakic, and you know that.
Wow, that's pretty up.
Yeah, that's okay.
He's incredibly smart. He's aware all over the ice. He's got a quick release, but he's only 18 years old, and the last thing we want to do is see him get hurt. So it's going to be a tough decision, but we'll see how it plays out in the next few days.
He talked this morning about strength, and that's probably the thing he notices the most, especially in the faceoff zone.
Yes, but he's got to get through the league a few times to know who's strong and who's not strong and who he can beat with quickness. But he's going to, no question, he's going to be a heck of a player, and I'd be shocked if he goes back. But you know, we'll make that. Like I say, we'll make that decision in the next week or two.
Early stage of second period, that wrist shot is stopped by Henrik Lundqvist, who makes his 12th save in the first period plus.
You know, I found it interesting. I mentioned this on the air during the first period, Kevin, that I saw an interview with Jordan Eberle the other day, and he was talking about the two kids on his line, and he's only 21. So, I mean, I guess when you think of that line and you think of the possibilities, you must bring a smile to your face, huh?
It sure does, and then on top of it all, they're great kids, and they love to play hockey, and you know, they love to learn, and they are winners. So you know, people around here, they talk about the 80s, and they're starting to see semblance of a team coming together. Now that's a tough comparison, but we know what at least all the tough work we had to go through the last couple of years, Joey, and rebuilding. You know, we're starting to see some positive returns in that.
How's the transition been for you, Kevin? Because you were the general manager of this team, now you're the president, and you hired Steve Tambellini as your general manager. Does that role sit well with you, or?
Yeah, it sure does. I think we got a fight here.
Yeah, we'll take a look at Andy Sutton and Brandon Prust.
One of your free agent signees. He's a big kid. This is what you were talking about. You want more toughness with your team?
Yeah, and you know, he's a good defender. You know, we didn't necessarily bring him in for the toughness, but he's a big body in the back end, and we're really lacking that. So I know Prust. I've always loved Prust when he played in London. He's a really cerebral player, and he's a tough kid. I'd love to, I guess I can't even say that. I would love to see him in the Oilers, but
now you can, because you're just being honest. He's not that big of a guy, but he'll fight anybody. He never backs down from anyone. He's turned himself into a good hockey player. There you see the hit. He gets taken in by Sutton initially. Down he goes. Seemed to be shaken up a little bit, and he certainly got mad.
Hey, Kevin, I have to ask you a little bit about Ryan Smith. That had to be kind of, did that drop out of left field on you? And it had to be something that you think, God, that'd be a good fit for this club, given the fact that he likes coming home, and he's a guy that's been around, and we could sure use his experience.
He's so happy to be back, Dave, and it couldn't have been a better fit, quite frankly. Ryan's such a good example, the way he plays in the games, but to me, more importantly, the way he practices. You know, he just works his bejesus off. He never stops, and that's a great example. I don't want to, you know, badmouth players we've had in the recent years, but practicing wasn't their strength. So this is a nice addition to our hockey club, and the fans love him, and he's had a great start to the season. And
he's an Oiler, right? I mean, he was born here. I mean, this is where he should be. He's one of those players that you look at and say, boy, he's this or he's that. Ryan Smith's an Oiler. He should be here.
Well, I traded him on the day we retired Mark Messier's jersey, unfortunately, and it's been a lot of tough years since then, and we're awfully glad to have him back.
So right before that fight between Sutton and Prust, Andy Sutton took a hooking penalty. So the Rangers on their first power play of the night. This Rangers power play is brought to you by Volkswagen.
Now, one change the Rangers have made on their power plays, they've moved Richards over to the left point, and they're using Stepan more, a right-handed shot on the left side. They're trying to set up Gaborik for the shot. As we saw Gaborik score the power play goal the other day. And so they're making a change now, but a little change as far as what the Rangers are trying to do on their power play.
So David brought up your son, Keegan, third-round draft pick of the Carolina Hurricanes. Tell us a little bit about young Lowe.
Yeah, he's a defender. I think he's tougher than I was, and he's a better skater than I was. So they've got the Oil Kings in the Western Hockey League. They're in first place now. They have a good young team. Michael St. Croix is a draft pick of the Rangers. He's scored last night and really coming offensively, and it's fun to watch. It doesn't get any better than that, quite frankly, to watch your boy play hockey.
And they play in this building too, Kevin, no?
They play in this building, yeah. And, well, Glenn Sather played not in this building, but he played for the Oil Kings. The Oil Kings have a great history. They moved and actually went to Portland, Washington for many years, and we brought him back 4 years ago, and it's been a great thing for us.
There he is.
Yeah, that's actually at John Van Beesbrook's house up in Mount Kisco. I was renting Beezer's house, and
is that right?
My wife Karen, and yeah,
she's an athlete too.
So that's got to be pretty awesome to be able to watch him in this building where you were so good for so long. When you watch, are you dad? Are you analyst? Are you critiquing him? What's that like for you?
I critique him a lot. I also praise him when he does well. He didn't play so well last night, but I cut him some slack because he was sick.
Are you happier that he's not a member of the Oilers organization?
Well,
is that a difficult thing?
It seems every time we get talking, there's fighting out there.
Welcome to hockey.
You know, he asked us not to draft him. Our scouts liked him. We were in position to draft him, but he just wanted. I think he took enough flack in the Western Hockey League from kids saying he was playing because he's my son. He said, "I'm going to do it on my own," and. You know, I'm proud of him. And Carolina's a great organization, and he just loves being well, not to this point, but he'd love to be a Hurricane someday.
Well, they think very highly of him, I'll tell you that. And talking to all their people at the prospects camp in Traverse City, they couldn't say enough great things about your son and what they are looking forward to in the future.
Hey, Kevin, I have to ask you, too, one of the comments you heard gentleman here this morning about your club with your goaltending. And boy, you can't get very far without good goaltending, and it sounds like your guys have been pretty good early here, huh?
That's been a a big difference. Actually, Dubnyk, the young fella, had a good year last year with .915 save percentage. And Habby's a great goalie. He had some tough personal situation, and I think that's behind. Well, it's obviously behind him now, and I think he really wants to prove to everybody that he's he won a Stanley Cup, and he's a darn good goalie. So if we get that, we're going to be in a lot of games.
Ranger power play has expired. Team's back at full strength. Here's Girardi with an opening. That wrist shot sails high, glove side. Dubinsky in front, slides all the way through. Rangers with a little bit more pressure here in the second period. Here's number 4, Taylor Hall. Breaks the other way with Jordan Everly, right side. Lundqvist tried to make the header save there, sailed over the top.
Now, you talked about Joe Sakic and Nugent Hopkins. I know your head coach, Tom Rennie, was talking about Taylor Hall, was mentioning Mark Messier.
Yeah,
that's quite the comparison as well, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't think he'll ever be the physical force that Mess was, but Mess had the power, the skating, the drive, at times the recklessness, driving to the net, and if we can have just a fraction of that, we'll be pretty fortunate.
Have you been happy what you've seen with him in the year 2, Kevin?
Yeah, he's getting a little frustrated. He wants to. He's so demanding of himself, and I think he's had a lot of. That line's had tons of scoring chances, and unfortunately, he's not going in for them. So, but he's going to have a great year. He'll score 35, I'm sure, 35, and maybe 40.
Abibulin steers it away as Newberry dumped it in. 5.5 minutes gone by in the second period. Still no score. Pajärvi with a shot. That one stopped by Lundqvist. Traps it, and he holds on. 14:25 remaining in the second period. Kevin Lowe, always great to see you. Great to come up and visit with you. Thanks for joining us for a couple minutes here, and best of luck to you.
My pleasure.
Thanks, Kevin.
Thanks,
good to see you as always. Thank you.
Thank you.
President of Hockey Operations for the Edmonton Oilers, Kevin Lowe, a Stanley Cup champion many times over here and with the New York Rangers, and congratulations to him for getting the trivia answer correct as well, as we knew he would. Great to see Kevin Lowe. Right here, face-off will be to the left of Henrik Lundqvist.
Should be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Should be. Never a real high-scoring defenseman, but one of the best of all time. 6 Stanley Cups. Talk about leadership and competitiveness.
Odd man rush for the Rangers. Step on across for McDonough, who had come down, and he just missed. Now step on cross ice. One-timer for Richards, who fell down, didn't get all of it.
Yeah, it looked like Ryan Smith got a piece of that as well with his stick. A couple of pretty good scoring chances for the Rangers.
Playing more on their toes here in the second period, spending more time in the Edmonton zone. Girardi down from his point spot. Step on behind the net. Left point, McDonough goes cross ice for Richards. Back for McDonough. Toward the net, deflected. Richards still has it. Smith got in the way of that centering attempt. Now Callahan, the behind the back pass. Stepan tried to deflect. Ryan Whitney held his ground. Through center. That pass intercepted. Good play by Ryan McDonough. We played 6 minutes and 45 seconds here in the second period. Shots are 13-7 in favor of Edmonton. It was 11-4 after 1 period.
Rangers are much better on the forecheck in this period.
Brendan Bell's shot stopped by Halby Bullen. Rebound slides just wide. Gaborik through the crease. Had an opportunity. Now Eminger toward the net, wide. Rangers have Dubinsky and Isamov and Gaborik. Marian Gaborik back to the point for Bell. Toward the net. Looking for a deflection from Anisimov. Now Dubinsky. He loses it, and the Oilers go the other way. Bank pass off the boards is a good one. Ben Eager, right side. Eager looks for an opening. Chases to the other side of the ice. Ladislav Schmid dumps it deeper. Not a lot of stoppages in play.
Now, it's been a good pace to this game, and I think this is what John Tortorella was talking about when he told us before the game, John, about playing in their zone and getting their forecheck going and putting pressure on the Oilers defensemen. This has been a good start to this second period.
You know what, through thick and thin here, too. It looks like they flip-flop Callahan and Gaborik.
Right.
And, oh boy, but Gaborik still has that jump, doesn't he, Joe? I'll tell you. He's been good.
He's been healthy, Dave, which certainly helps.
The end-to-end continues as Mike Rupp cuts right side. Looks to work around Schmid. Centered. Newberry was there, then got checked into the netting. Net off its moorings, and there's no further play. 11 minutes, 39 seconds remaining in the second period. Ryan McDonough charging hard to the net, looking for another, and just misses. Welcome back to Edmonton. Here is our Miller Lite Taste Greatness moment. When you're talking about greatness in the sport, it occurred in this building in the mid to late 80s. The Stanley Cup champion Edmonton Oilers 5 times over, 84, 85, 87, 88, and 90. Glenn Sather behind the bench for 4 of them. Wayne Gretzky lifted the cup in 4 of them. Mark Messier in all 5. That's our Taste Greatness moment. Miller Lite triple hops brewed for that great Pilsner taste. Taste greatness.
That was something, wasn't it? Right? I'm telling you.
The last great dynasty in the NHL. Horkoff works his way in front. That one deflected away by Callahan. Ryan Smith got taken down. Fans wanted a penalty, no call. Richards' pass hit a stanchion in the boards, and the Oilers take it back. To the point for Schmid. He goes cross ice. Tom Gilbert winds and fires, and Lundqvist through traffic able to see it and hold on.
Good job in front, though, by Richards. Richards came back on Ryan Smith, who's always so difficult in front of the net to handle. And Richards had good enough position on him in front to allow Lundqvist to see the shot. There's the work in front. Nice job in front of Lundqvist there. That's where Smith went down, and the fans were looking for a penalty, and none was called.
So Belanger, PRV, and Gagne on for the Oilers. Dubinsky.
Belanger was another one of those free agent signings that Kevin Lowe talked about. They were 30th in the league last year in face-off winning percentage, and that was one of the reasons why they signed Belanger.
PRV.
And they helped the penalty killing. Pardon me, John.
Sorry, Joe. PRV peels back and tries to force it ahead. Instead, Anisimov to Dubinsky. That line joined by Gabrick once again. Cross ice for Gagne. Head up, looks for an opening. Cross ice it goes, a little bit too far for Belanger. Girardi touches up, and we have an icing call with 10 minutes, 31 seconds remaining in a scoreless second period. Well, become a Ranger season ticket subscriber today. Great seat locations, exclusive benefits, and savings as well. You can visit NewYorkRangers.com, or you can call 212-465-6073. Prust out of the penalty box after his fighting major with Andy Sutton, so it's Boyle centering Prust and Fedotenko. Prust goes right to Sutton, they bump, separate, and the puck goes into the Ranger zone. Brendan Bell. Bell into the Oilers zone all the way, and glove side just wide. Brendan Bell with an end-to-end rush.
Yeah, there you see he's such a fluid skater. He made that look easy.
Fedotenko after it. Now Eberle backhands past Bell. Prust has to get back. It's a 3-on-2. Hall dumps it off. Nugent Hopkins steps into it and scores! Well, that's one way to avoid going back to juniors.
I'd say he's the leading scorer on this team. That's his 5th of the year. And Brendan Bell pitches in and gets caught, and it leads to a 3-on-2 the other way. There's 28. There's Bell. Now here comes this young Oilers line. Speed. They've got time. And Nugent Hopkins. What a shot. All three of these players can shoot the puck. Even though Nugent Hopkins, they talk about his great vision and what a passer, but he buries that one for his 5th of the season.
And that was the chant of Nuge you heard from the Oilers crowd. That's his nickname, Ryan Nugent Hopkins. His 5th goal already for the 18-year-old, and 1-0 right back in the zone, and Rupp had an opportunity from in close and missed it. Quickly the other way. Ben Eager all the way through. Lundqvist watches it go to Tom Gilbert. Now Delzato will calm things down. So the first goal of the night for the Edmonton Oilers and the rookie Ryan Nugent Hopkins.
The Oilers goal scored by Nugent Hopkins.
Hall and Eberle the assist, 10:09 the time of the goal.
At 10:09.
Christensen into the zone. Newberry's wrist shot knocked away by Schmid. And now Schmid gains the red line and dumps in. Rangers have Richards with Stepan and Ryan Callahan, who tips it ahead, sidesteps Sutton. But Cam Barker right back to center and beyond. Ryan Jones, an opening. That wrist shot sails high and wide, glove side, over the boards, into the netting, and there's no further play. 8 minutes, 41 seconds remaining, second period. Ryan Nugent Hopkins has given the Oilers the lead.
Here's another look at the goal. The Rangers have been aggressive on the forecheck, so they have 2 men there. Here's the third one. Now, Prust will get back, but what makes the play is this man right here. Ryan Whitney, the defenseman, reads the play perfectly, steps up, and then turns it into a 3-on-2. Jordan Eberle makes the play on the boards, so it's 2 forwards and a defenseman, and that leaves enough room to make the play, and the quick shot makes it 1-0.
And our telestrator look is brought to you by Acura. Acura Advance.
Ryan Whitney, that's why they need him in there. We've got a delay right now. They've got a problem with a stanchion down in the corner of the rink that they're fixing, as you can see here. But with Ryan Whitney, last year he played just 35 games, had 27 points in those 35 games before getting hurt. And that just gives you an idea of what he can add. Reads the play well, he's got a long stick, passes extremely well, and he just read that perfectly. And a 2-on-2, you play it differently. You play it tighter. You go, each player takes a man. But on a 3-on-2, you have to play more of a zone defense. So you just kind of back into your net and hope that you get help coming back. And so with him going up the ice, it turned it into a 3-on-2 and a good offensive play for the goal.
Boyle couldn't quite gain possession of the puck, so the Rangers offside with 8:32 remaining in the second period. Well, Monday night on MSG, the Rangers visit the Winnipeg Jets. Live coverage gets underway at 8 o'clock with Nissan Game Night. Watch for your chance to win tickets to the Rangers home opener, courtesy of Chase. It's Monday night, and it's right here on MSG.
Winnipeg won tonight, by the way. They were down 2-0 and scored 5 straight goals, ended up beating Carolina 5-3.
That'll be an electric atmosphere in Winnipeg with hockey back there. Boyle into the zone. His slap shot deflects just high and wide. McDonough thought about pinching, now tries to get back. Nugent Hopkins, and deflected away at the last minute by Girardi. Another deflection in front, and Lundqvist able to see it, change direction, and cover up.
Actually, McDonough did a pretty good job getting back when he recognized that he was in a bad position defensively, but they still turned it into a pretty good scoring chance. McDonough, he is one terrific skater. Talk about power, and he just keeps on learning. He becomes a smarter and smarter player all the time with his ability to read things, not only defensively, but on the offensive side as well.
Face-off win for the Oilers, who won 7 of 10 in the first period. Now Smith back to the point for Potter. Through traffic, Lundqvist saw it at the last second, got the blocker up and made the stop. Girardi down low for Gagne. Belanger tries to step off the boards. He does, gets another opportunity, and that one deflects away. Rangers can't get out of their own end right now. Corey Potter goes cross ice. Vladislav Schmid down the boards. Gagne knocked Delzato's stick off the puck. Anisimov tries to possess, and he does for the Rangers. Now Gaborik for Dubinsky, just off his stick. Dubinsky though beats Potter to the puck. Up the boards from Whitney all the way down, and this will be an icing call as Girardi back for it, touches up. With 7:11 remaining here in the second period, Oilers out shooting the Rangers 19-9 and leading New York 1-0.
I think John Tortorella he's trying to get a couple of lines going offensively for the Rangers, and to me that's why he made the move and put Gaborik on that line with Anisimov, see if he could spark that line and try and get something. He's talked often about not being able to sustain any type of offensive pressure.
Potter wound it around. Gagne lifts it high in the air in center, and Ryan Smith comes down with it. Passes to himself, chases down behind the goal line. Now Richards softly off the boards for Callahan. The line is Richards centering Callahan and Stepan. McDonough and Girardi are back. And that one deflects over the boards. 6:34 remaining here in the second period. The faceoff will be inside the Ranger zone.
John Tortorella's continued to roll 4 lines in this game, try and get something going. The shots are now 19-9 favoring Edmonton.
Eric Christensen on with Mike Rupp and Chris Newberry.
Talked about the Oilers having to stay healthy. They're missing Alesh Hemsky, who is one of their better offensive players and a veteran player. He'll be missing for probably 2 more weeks.
So the Oilers out shooting the Rangers 8-5 here in the second period. Overall, their shot advantage is 10. Down the boards, good step away move by Anton Lander, tries to get out in front. Instead, Mike Rupp wheels and heads the other way. Delzato and Taylor Hall, a pair of number 1 picks, a pair of number 4s chase it down. Hall almost got there, but Tim Erickson sticked it away. Now Nugent Hopkins. Behind the net, Eberle in front, that one deflects. Doesn't get all the way through as Newberry able to skate it to safety. Well, that line creates some
Yeah, they do, don't they?
very quick opportunities.
Again, they are not one-dimensional.
Hall lifts to center. Fedotenko gloves it down and right onto the stick of Cam Barker. And then right off it as Fedotenko heads the other way as Callahan going to the net. Fedotenko's shot deflects off a skate into the netting, and there's no further play. 5 minutes, 4 seconds remaining in the second period. Oilers lead it 1-0.
He's been great. He's been really good, John. I don't know what's going to happen at the end of the day. We're going to look at the body of work, obviously, with the beginning of training camp right to now. But the biggest thing that we had for a fear, if you will, was that was he strong enough, physically strong enough to handle this? And he hasn't been in the medical room yet, and that speaks volumes.
He's slight. He's only 175 pounds, and as Kevin Lowe, the president, was telling us, they don't want him to get hurt. They want to try and protect the kid, but thus far the kid has shown no fear with the way he plays, and he leads the team in scoring.
Face-off win for Stepan. Now McDonough left point. Off the board, Stepan and Dubinsky with Marian Gaborik here. So another line combination for John Tortorella.
Well, he's trying to find something. They're just not putting on enough offensive pressure. They had a good start to the period. They were aggressive on the forecheck. They got something going, and it's, but then it kind of dried up from there.
Stepan wheels, centers, deflected away. Corey Potter was able to clear it out of harm's way, and now Ryan McDonough back in center. Off the mark for Dubinsky, who goes to the bench. Rangers will get a change, and opportunity for Ryan Smith, who steps into the slap shot, and that one sails wide. All the way around to Brian Boyle. Rangers look to go 3-on-2. Gaborik waits, looks, shoots. Stopped by Hobby Bulin, who's able to cover up.
Edmonton was kind of in the midst of a change. They were a little bit of a scramble. They were trying to get off the ice. Tom Rennie looks like this might go against them, and it is too many men on the ice against the Edmonton Oilers. And then take a look at, and Edmonton is trying to make a change. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then at the bench. So Edmonton gets caught with too many men on the ice, so the Rangers with the power play. And again, I mentioned the change on defense with Richards now playing the left side, Delzato on the other side. This is kind of twofold. I mentioned they'd like to set up Gaborik, who is not out there right now because he was just on the ice for a shift. They're trying to set him up for the shot. And the other thing was this. Dan Girardi is playing so many minutes that he had been on the #1 power play unit. So they moved him off there. He plays the back end of it because generally teams after a power play come back, or after a penalty kill come back with their top offensive line, so he's on the ice to defend.
Second Ranger power play of the night, and this power play is brought to you by Volkswagen. Rangers have Eric Christensen on the ice for the start of this power play, and this is him with the puck left side. Wheels, stops, puts it into traffic, and it gets dumped down the ice. Richards and Delzato on the blue line. Christensen, Dubinsky, and Ryan Callahan up front.
The Oilers were 29th in the league last year on the penalty kill. They've been much better this season. 7th coming into this game.
Christensen all the way around. And the puck taken and cleared down the ice once again.
And Sean Horkoff was another member of the team that's one of their veteran players, a good penalty killer, good on faceoffs, that missed a great deal of time last year because of injury.
Ruslan Fedotenko now on. Here comes Gaborik with room. Gaborik is in. He waits. And he's taken off the puck. Didn't get a shot on goal, but there's a penalty upcoming, a hooking call. So the Rangers will have a 2-man advantage for 58 seconds.
How about that speed? And he beat Andy Sutton on the play. And as he was going back, Corey Potter, I believe, ends up getting a beautiful pass. And then there's the speed. Takes one slash there, and just as he's getting ready to shoot, Corey Potter comes from the other side. What a pass from Richards. Richards looked one way and then put the pass right on this tape, right on the stick of Marian Gaborik.
So the Rangers have called a timeout to set up the strategy here in the 5-on-3.
Gaborik took a pretty good slash from Andy Sutton as he went around him. Takes a look at the hand. Little shake, seems to be okay. John Tortorella calls the timeout to give this group a little bit of a rest And they'll have the 5-on-3 here for the next 58 seconds. Dubinsky will take the face-off. 5 forwards on the ice. Richards and Gaborik on the points.
Dubinsky, step on Callahan up front. Rangers win the draw with Richards. Down low, step on all the way through for Dubinsky. Right point for Gaborik. Now Richards. Rangers working around. Richards has it again. For Stepan. Now Gaborik between the circles deflects away. Dubinsky has it. Dubinsky waits for Gaborik. And now Richards. Tom Gilbert watches him. Stepan looks. Vladislav Schmid got his body in the way in front. Cross ice, Richards steps toward the net, waits, back for Gaborik. Now Stepan, slap shot, sails high and wide, and it'll come out of the zone. It wasn't touched by Hobby Bulin, so the face-off out of the zone.
I thought it was deflected by someone, but here's the Rangers 5-on-3 as they move the puck around. Richards, and there's the defensive play by Schmid. Good play, and then that shot ends up in the netting.
So still 29 seconds remaining in the 5-on-3. Check at 24 seconds.
They're checking the clock. One of the referees is over at the time bench there where they're double checking the amount of time.
Well, don't forget, coming up tonight on MSG, complete analysis of the local hockey scene. You'll go around the league. It's Hockey Night Live. Join Al Troutwig along with Ken Danico and Ron Duguay and Billy Jaffe as well tonight following the Rangers-Oilers right here on MSG. So it looks like they have things squared away. Right now the clock says 25 seconds remaining in the 5-on-3, a minute 28 remaining in the penalty to Corey Potter.
Wow, they took time off. So that favored, obviously, the Oilers.
Yeah, it seemed as though when the 5-on-3 began, the penalty clock didn't start ticking down. So they figured it out, corrected it, and now Gaborik into the zone. Gaborik looks, weaves, drops off for Stepan. Richards for Derek Stepan. Dubinsky parked at the post. Gets it. Dubinsky waits. Doesn't shoot. Callahan in front, tries to stuff it. Doesn't elude Hobby Bulin. Now that slap shot ripped wide by Richards, and now an open opportunity and a breakaway the other way for Taylor Hall out of the penalty box. Hall stopped by Lundqvist. And now the Rangers look to go the other way. Here's Callahan. Left side. Callahan waits, goes cross ice for Richards. 35 seconds remaining in the penalty to Potter. Stepan tries to center it. Belanger able to slap it down ice.
Now the Rangers didn't get many good shots on goal on that 5-on-3. They were a little bit too deliberate.
Delzato for Boyle, who chips it ahead with 18 seconds remaining in the penalty to Potter.
Boyle just got hit with a high stick. No one saw it.
Whitney up the boards. Rangers hold in. Fedotenko, right point, Delzato with room. Wrist shot sails wide. Rangers are missing the net quite a bit here in the second period. Anisimov down the boards for Boyle. Penalty is over. Potter on the ice, teams at full strength. Rangers still with the puck. Fedotenko for Delzato. Again, shot wide. Under a minute remaining here in the second period. Anisimov for Boyle behind the net. Brian Boyle looks to work. Sutton watches him. Boyle up the boards for Fedotenko. Centered for Anisimov. But it was Ryan Whitney who stepped in and intercepted. So the Rangers allow a 5-on-3 to go by the boards without scoring. And now 30 seconds remaining in the second period. Cross ice it goes toward the net. Slides all the way through as Leonard Petrol was gliding toward the net. Delzato winds around for Girardi. Final 15 seconds of the second period. Don't forget, coming up, the New York Lottery intermission report. Our guest will be Ryan Smith. Dave Maloney downstairs with him. We'll head back to the studios at MSG for Bill Pito and the MSG 150. And then Ron Duguay and Bill will analyze the highlights. We'll have a penalty in the final 7/10 of a second in the second period.
Chris Newberry is going to get the penalty. He gets it for slashing. And meanwhile, there's the high stick as the puck was already in the zone. And then here's a chance for Dubinsky. See, just a little bit too deliberate were the Rangers on that 5-on-3. And then just after that, became a 5-on-4. The shot by Richards goes wide. And here comes Taylor Hall with the great speed. And Lundqvist does a nice job with the stick, stopping Taylor Hall. And then Newberry ends up, there's that right there is the slashing call against Newberry with 7/10 of a second to go.
So the horn sounds, the second period is over, and the Oilers will take a 1-0 lead into the dressing room. So the Rangers will begin the third period shorthanded for just about the full 2 minutes after Chris Newberry takes a slashing penalty. Shots are 20-11 in favor of the Oilers, and it's 1-0, Joe, after 2.
Well, I thought the Rangers came out and played better to start the second period. They were more aggressive. They were playing in the Oilers zone. They were creating turnovers by their aggressiveness. But again, they've got to get more shots. They've got to find a way to get more pucks on net. It's been, again, an easy night for the goaltender thus far through 2 periods. And with the play of Henrik Lundqvist, they're still in it at 1-0 after 2.
The Oilers outshot the Rangers 9-7 in the second. Coming up, it's the New York Lottery intermission report. Dave will speak with Ryan Smith. Happy to be back home in Edmonton. Bill Pito with the Audi MSG 150. And then Bill and Ron Duguay will analyze the highlights from the second period. Downstairs we go. Dave Maloney with Ryan Smith. All right, Al, thanks very much. We look forward to that right here. Rangers and Oilers prepare for the start of the third period. New York Rangers hockey is presented by Chase. And there's the goal scorer, the kid, the 18-year-old, the #1 overall pick, who now has 5 goals this season, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. And how about the goalies he scored against? Marc-Andre Fleury, 3 times Roberto Luongo, and Henrik Lundqvist.
Good way to start your career.
And he might be playing in Red Deer next week?
Yeah, wouldn't that be something? That's where he plays junior hockey. Of course, Brent Sutter owns that team. He's the coach of the Calgary Flames. He's hoping that they send him back to Red Deer for a couple of reasons. Here's the goal again. 3-on-2 the other way. Taylor Hall, the pass, perfect, right on the tape. And how about that shot? Off the post and in. And that's about the only way you can beat Henrik Lundqvist these days, is with a perfect shot. And that one goes off the post and in for his 5th of the season. You know, prior to the draft, when they talked about who they should take #1 overall, they looked at the makeup of this team, and you've got Eberle on the wing, you've got Hall on the wing, PRV on the wing, and they said, we need a centerman that can dish the puck off and set these kids up. And they went with Nugent-Hopkins, and boy, oh boy, is he ever off to a great start.
All right, third period underway. Remember, Chris Newberry took a penalty with 7/10 of a second left in the second, so the Rangers will have to kill off 150 of power play time here to start the third. They have Dubinsky and Callahan up front, Girardi and McDonough back, and the Oilers offside 15 seconds in.
Horkoff double pumped on that one as he went to shoot the puck in and caused the offside. Thus far, face-offs, Edmonton's won 64%. One of the reasons is Sean Horkoff. Again, he was, as I mentioned earlier, one of those players that was hurt an awful lot last year. They acquired Belanger in the offseason. They've been very good on faceoffs tonight.
Taylor Hall winds it around. McDonough back for it. Girardi there as well. Nice little shovel pass to Dubinsky, who's able to bank it down the ice.
2 very good passes. McDonough, a little touch pass to Girardi. Girardi, a touch pass to Callahan, and down the ice.
Now Boylan plus up front for the Rangers. That one off a stick right to Steve Eminger, who's able to bank it down the ice. Important early moments here in the third period. Rangers trying to kill off this penalty. They trail it 1-0 on the goal from Ryan Nugent-Hopkins in the second. Stretch pass off the mark. Eminger there again, and he's able to clear down. Rangers will get a change. Stepan and Fedotenko on ice along with Girardi and McDonough.
Now the last 3 games, the Rangers penalty killing has been much, much better.
The RV left side, a half step on Girardi, who is able to stick the puck away. Back to the point for Whitney. Hands it off for Gagne. Steps toward the net. Now down low for PRV, who wheels back. PRV looks, 30 seconds remaining in the penalty to Newberry. That pass off Fedotenko, skating all the way down ice.
Now PRV is another player we hardly mentioned. He was the #1 pick a couple of years ago with blazing speed down the left wing.
That 2009 first-round pick. That's him with the puck toward the net. Gagne deflected it on goal. Lundqvist looked like he had a little problem with it. Now Ryan Smith tries to center, step on in the way. He'll hold and clear down, and that'll kill off the penalty to Chris Newberry, who's up and out of the box. Team's back at full strength. Important penalty kill there for the Rangers, who trail at 1-0 here early in the third. Pass ahead off the mark. Eriksson got in the way. Now Gabrick goes cross ice. Prust hands it off. Richards steps into a shot. Stopped by Hobby Bullen. Glove save. One of his more difficult saves this evening. Eriksson back for Del Zotto. Rangers have scored 12 goals this season. 7 of them have come in the third period or overtime. Maybe a source of optimism for the Rangers, who have so far been shut out on 12 shots on goal. Now the giveaway. Richards tried to step in front, had that knocked off his stick.
Brandon Prust goes from right wing to left wing up on this line with Gabrick and Richards, who are back together. Now John Tortorella continues to try and find some combinations that will provide more offense.
Big line here. He has Newberry centering Boyle on the right and Rupp on the left. Newberry tries to backhand ahead. Sutton got in his way. Now the outlet pass the other way for Ryan Smith. Smith cuts in. Kick saved by Lundqvist. Stuck out the right pad and made the stop.
And then was drilled by Newberry after the shot.
Cam Barker pressed, and there'll be an offensive zone penalty. Looks like it'll be on Mike Rupp for a hook.
You know, Mike Rupp got his stick basically caught in the jersey of Cam Barker. And Barker just simply put his arms up and drew the penalty. The push, and he got it just underneath the armpit, and right away Barker, as soon as he felt it, he put his arms up and drew the penalty. Meanwhile, here's Dan Girardi, here's PRV with the great speed, and watch how he turns it on, and Girardi has to think, how do I defend? I know I can't beat him to the front of the net, and so he goes around him. Talk about a smart defensive play. Dan Girardi, stick on stick to knock the puck away and prevent the shot.
So the Rangers will have to kill another penalty. They can't get the clock to work here. They had a problem with it earlier, so they're going to time the penalty to Mike Rupp from the penalty box itself. And the faceoff will be to the left of Henrik Lundqvist. Dubinsky wins the draw. He's won 3 here already in the third period. Callahan can't get there, though. Eberle keeps in. Cross ice to the corner. McDonough first one there to bank it down ice.
Rangers penalty, Rupp hooking at 3.
Taylor Hall with 1:45 remaining. We'll keep you posted on the time as Nugent Hopkins steps into the zone. Down the boards, McDonough there. Hall in as well. Goes down, but Oilers maintain possession. 1:30 remaining. Eberle to Hall. Out to the point it goes for Potter. Now Eberle. Cross ice. Back to Potter. His shot, score! Power play goal for the Edmonton Oilers, who take a 2-0 lead.
Now the Rangers, 2 early penalties here in this third. Of course, the one by Newberry was right at the end of the second period. But the Rangers have been shorthanded for most of the start of this third period. Beautiful passing and patience by Edmonton. And you'll see Potter, number 44, he'll have his stick cocked right there. He's ready. There's the shot, or the pass. Again, a little fake to the middle. That draws everyone down low. That leaves Potter with more room on the point. Has his stick ready to go, and the shot off the pass, high rising shot with a man in front. That makes it 2-0.
You know what, Joe? It's a bit of a knuckleball. That thing probably dropped about 4 or 5 inches. Lundqvist in a pretty good spot. But I'll tell you, impressive Nugent Hopkins is his awareness. The way, he gets himself in the right positions. That's a pretty good goal.
So Brandon Prust headed toward the net. He was hooked, so the Rangers, on the shift after a goal, draw a penalty. They'll go to the power play. Corey Potter scores. He had 1 goal in his NHL career. It was as a New York Ranger. He scores his second. Nugent Hopkins, Eberle the assist, but here's the Rangers going on the power play.
Now here's Prust again trying to get in. Sutton was there, holds him up just enough with the stick to draw the penalty, and here it is again. Nugent Hopkins, as you mentioned, Dave, patient with the puck, but he looked to the net, and that kind of drew the 2 Ranger forwards towards the net. which gave Potter a little bit more time to shoot. Good call on the knuckleball. Got a little baseball in your career, huh, David?
Well, it is World Series time too, isn't it, guys? I know you're watching those Cardinals, Joe. Wow.
15 runs tonight.
Hey, could they send a couple north? Just maybe one? So this Ranger team could get on the board here. Boy, this is a big power play right here.
Yeah, Richards, Gaborik, Prust up front. The stretch pass. Gaborik is in. Backhand. Save Hobby Bullet. Rebound sits in the crease and Richards missed it. Oh, what a chance for Marian Gaborik. Again with speed, creating an opportunity. Now toward the net, deflected and stopped by Hobby Bullet. Prust has it.
Prust getting power play time. Getting lots of ice time is Brandon Prust.
Now Horkoff will stall, kill some time, and slap it down the ice. As chance of Hobby.
Now what a pass by Dan Girardi to Gaborik. Timing was perfect. And Gaborik just couldn't finish, but Gaborik continues to generate chances.
Delzato hard around. Lander backs it up. Corey Potter around. Delzato there. 45 seconds remaining in the Ranger power play. Girardi's shot stopped in front by Schmid, who got in the way. Or checking it, that was Whitney. No, I was right the first time. It was Schmid. Now Girardi for Callahan. Ryan Callahan has it slide off his stick, and now Schmid able to dive and slide it down ice.
Now Richards was not out on this power play on the point. They go back with Girardi along with Delzato.
Final seconds of the Ranger power play as Brian Boyle lugs it left side. Cross ice dumping, slap to the point, Girardi holds in. Cross ice it goes, McDonough, slap shot, doesn't get all the way through, it deflects, back out to center. Andy Sutton is on his feet in the penalty box. Final seconds of this Ranger power play off Callahan's stick. And now Sutton is out of the box, team's back at full strength, Rangers 0 for 4 on the power play. Stepan behind the net. To the point for McDonough. Now Derek Stepan. Puck slides off his stick and back to center. Tom Gilbert holds with 13:20 remaining in the third.
Yeah, the Rangers had the one real quality scoring chance. That was by Gaborik on the breakaway, and Hobby Bulin, who's just having an unbelievable start to his season after a terrible year last year when he won just 10 games. Had a goals against average of 3.4, terrible save percentage. All those numbers are reversed to start the season.
Took it toward the net, had it knocked away. Now Whitney toward the net, that one wide. Horkoff will be the first one there. Cross ice for Whitney with room, left point. Waits, Fedotenko went down, now cross ice slap pass and put just wide. Horkoff had an opportunity, just missed the far post. Now Horkoff centers, Lundqvist able to stick it and then glove it and hold on. 12 minutes and 35 seconds remaining in the third. Former Ranger Corey Potter scores. It's 2-0 Oilers.
Here's the vision of Dan Girardi. Up the ice, waits, and then there's the quick pass. Right on the tape of Gaborik, who was flying up the middle of the ice, and just one hard step, he's past everyone. And Hobby Bulin stayed with him as Gaborik tries to beat him through the legs there. Hobby Bulin got the pads together, had the stick on the ice, and made a real good save on Marian Gaborik.
You know, he likes to chip that little thing through the 5-hole, boy. Boy, you'd like to see him snap it, wouldn't you, Joe? I mean, you know, you get in, certainly in hindsight anyway, but he loves that little chipper to the 5-hole.
You know, I looked, Dave, and it looked like the puck rolled on him a little bit and a little bit ahead of him, and I don't think he had it in a shooting position.
This Oiler team, just as this game has gone on, just sees it. They have the puck more, don't they?
Yeah.
And the Rangers are struggling to get the puck.
That's exactly what the fear of John Tortorella was before the game. And he said it. He said, if they have the puck more than we do, he said, we've got a problem.
Then you throw in a couple of that penalty on Mike Rupp. You can't have your stick. And then the penalty at the end of the second period, Chris Newberg on a fadeaway slash. Those things, those are just bad penalties.
No reason for it, especially when you're struggling to score and struggling to get shots on goal.
Smith comes together with Girardi. Prust takes the puck. 11:45 remaining in the third. Rangers trail by 2 as Callahan gains the red line and dumps in. Ranger defense switches up. Right through the neutral zone with Sean Horkoff. Torkoff, though, held the blue line, and the Oilers were offside with 11:33 remaining in the third, and the Oilers over the Rangers 2-0. Don't forget, coming up immediately after the game, it's Hockey Night Live. Complete post-game analysis of the Rangers and Oilers, plus you'll go around the league. Join Al Trellig along with Ken Danico and Ron Duguay after the game right here on MSG. And now we're seeing Marty Biron head to the net.
Henrik Lundqvist didn't even come to the bench. Something happened because he turned and went right out behind the net, which is where the Rangers come off the ice. And I looked down at the bench and I saw Jim Ramsey, the Rangers trainer, run across the back of the bench and towards the locker room.
So we'll see what's happening with Henrik Lundqvist. Trying to keep you posted on that. Marty Biron in the net. Ryan Smith puts it toward the net immediately. Jones after it. Now Smith again. His shot goes wide, far side.
No time for Marty Biron to get warmed up.
Smith centers. Biron gets his stick on it. Still in a dangerous area, though, as Del Zotto tries to advance. He lost a glove, but he continues on with the puck. Cross-ice pass intended for Gaborik. That one was deflected and intercepted. Gaborik and Richards in on the forecheck. That one all the way down. Biron will stop, and Ryan McDonough picks it up. Now Fedotenko ahead for Newberry. Here comes Fedotenko down the middle, looks for an opportunity toward the net. Newberry is there, so is Boyle. And the whistle blows as Javi Bulin is able to glove it. Now some extracurricular after the play as Fedotenko gets punched and knocked down.
By Corey Potter. A little pushing and shoving, and then Corey Potter with a right hand catches him right in the jaw. Now Fedotenko is saying, how about the punch? And I don't think he's getting the call that he was looking for. The Rangers with pressure around the net. Punch there now, look at everybody gets there. There's all the pushing, all the shoving. Potter got knocked down, gets up. There's the pushing. Oh, Fedotenko threw a punch also. I didn't see that one. I think that's why they kept everything the way it was. An exchange of punches.
So this line will stay on the ice for the Rangers. Newberry will take the draw. Boyle, Fedotenko up front. McDonough, Girardi on the blue line.
We are trying to find out as much as we can about Henrik Lundqvist and his sudden departure from this game.
PRV left side, cuts in as McDonough was picked off by the referee. No harm done for the moment, but now toward the net. That one stopped as Belanger put a shot toward Biron, who made the stop. Vladislav Schmid in his own zone, backing up. Now in the neutral zone, put into the Ranger zone as Brendan Bell back for it. Rangers have Dubinsky, Stepan, and Callahan. Dubinsky hard after it. Rangers to the puck. Stepan tries to wrap around. Callahan shot stopped by Javi Bulin.
Boy, what a save. That's his best save of the game right there. Callahan had that labeled for the far post. And Javi Bulin kicked it out.
Good hard forecheck by Dubinsky created that opportunity. Now Brendan Bell. With 9:25 remaining in the third, 2 goals for the Oilers, 1 in the second, 1 in the third, by Ryan Nugent-Hopkins in the second, and former Ranger Corey Potter on the power play early third. Oilers with a 2-0 lead. Dubinsky around for Callahan. Dubinsky hit hard into the boards from behind, goes down, no call. We play on. Dubinsky screaming at the ref as Nugent-Hopkins goes the other way left side, now down the middle. Opportunity, and McDonough able to stick it away. McDonough stopped Taylor Hall there. To the point for Potter, keeps it in. Hall behind the net. Girardi to him.
John, we've seen John Tortorella make a lot of changes here in the third period, moving players around on different lines. Artem Anisimov has not been a part of that plan. He has not played here in the third period.
Right now it's Richards, Prust, and Gaborik. So Brandon Prust getting time on the first line. Toward the net, that one deflected away and up into the netting, no further play. 8:25 remaining in the third period. We'll ferret some information on Hank Lundqvist, then we'll come back.
Well, we mentioned Henrik Lundqvist left suddenly from this game. Here's what we have on him. Goes down, comes back across, on one side, back and forth, looks fine now, and then this move here, he'll go across, and right there, it seemed like something happened because his head went down, and he just seemed uncomfortable at that point. Was slow to get up as he had the puck in his glove, and just looked uncomfortable from that point. And then right after that is when he went straight behind the net, obviously in pain. They opened the gates, and away he went to the Rangers locker room. You hate to speculate on what kind of an injury, but for him to come out of a game, he's as competitive as they get.
So Marty Biron will try to keep it at 2 as the Rangers try a comeback. Meanwhile, Ryan Whitney toward the net is wide. Richards has it for the Rangers with 8:05 remaining in the third. Gaborik with Prust. Delzato joins the rush. Gaborik's shot sticked into the netting, and there's no further play.
You know, you just have to admire the way that Marian Gaborik is playing, though, because the Rangers have been a team that have had trouble generating scoring chances. You know he's going to face the top checkers on the other team every game. And in every game that we've done thus far, he's been a threat. He's finding the seams, he's getting the puck, he's skating, he's going to the net, he's getting scoring chances. 4 goals on the season thus far. And he's been one of the lone bright spots as far as the offense has been concerned.
Newberry with the intercept. That one deflects off the skate. Eminger tries to hold in. Puck back to center. You'd think the Oilers would be pretty content to just sit back and play defense now, the last 7:40 with a 2-goal lead. They've outshot the Rangers 25-18, and they lead it 2-0. Eminger hard around. Fedotenko tips it ahead. No icing as Tom Gilbert touches up.
You know, I think for this Oiler team to continue to be successful, I know they want to think that they can, hunker down, but I'm not sure the makeup of this team is quite there yet. I mean, Happy Brulin's made 2 real good saves here in the third period, but by and large, their defense is going to be coming forward, I think.
Here comes Ben Eager forward, danced around Bell. Girardi went to him, and that pass back out of the zone, easily controlled by Cam Barker. 7 minutes remaining in the third.
I think Kevin Lowe made a good point, Dave, don't you? By saying we're not exactly sure what we have yet. Right. Pretty early, they think they're much better defensively, and
well, I think
added some veterans.
But I think you're going to be better defensively if that guy can make that save for you. And I think Happy Brulin did a big save early in the first period, and he's made a couple here to keep it at 2-0.
Taylor Hall's drop pass leads to a possible 3-on-1. Here comes Dubinsky left side. Dubinsky tries to slide it across. What a play. Great defensive play by Andy Sutton. Now back to the point for Eriksson, who shoots just wide.
It was a terrible decision in the offensive zone by the Oilers that led to a 3-on-1, and then a beautiful defensive play. Dave, it's still a work in progress.
Eriksson dumps in. Whitney back.
Well, there's no question, but I think, when they're trying to find an identity, they've gone young for a long time. And now they're kind of filling in with a little more veteran presence with Smith. So there are going to be some growing pains, but a lot of good things going on with this club when you look at this Edmonton team. They might not be there yet, but they're coming.
Richards after it. Richards, Gaborik, Prust. Prust looks for Gaborik, but Belanger got his stick in the way of that pass. Eminger steps up. Belanger looks for an opening, but instead Delzato ahead for Prust. Now Gaborik leaves it for Richards. Brad Richards looks behind for Prust. Now Gaborik. Closely watched by Ryan Smith, goes cross ice for Delzato. Toward the net, knocked down by Whitney. And the outlet pass for Ryan Smith, one-on-one with Girardi. Jones goes to the net. Now Horkoff. Cross ice, Jones not able to connect. Ladislav Schmid. That pass blocked by Delzato. Oilers still have it, now back to center. Inside 5 minutes remaining.
Sorry, John, you saw that play that Ryan Whitney made coming out of his own zone. That's what they really missed with him being on the lineup. Vision, patience, make a perfect pass on the tape, and get all that great speed going the other way.
Girardi steps up, puck back to center, Newberry. It's Newberry, Fedotenko, and Boyle. Chris Newberry after it, Brian Boyle holds. Schmid comes together with Newberry. Boyle to the puck as well. 3 Rangers below the goal line. Puck stays on the ice surface, and the Oilers look to clear. Ryan McDonough knocks it down and has a lot of open ice in front of him. McDonough caught up by PRV, who shows that terrific speed.
Yeah, there's that speed, because McDonough, we know how he can skate. PRV caught him in 2 strides.
Inside 4 minutes remaining in the third. 2-0 Oilers.
Eric Christensen, who has a lot of friends and family here tonight, has not played in this third period either.
Cross ice for Callahan. Tips it ahead, but Cam Barker got in the way. Dubinsky steps up toward the net.
I don't think Mike Rupp's been on since the penalty.
Since the penalty, right?
Really.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of messages either overtly or covertly being sent here. Not adding up. The Rangers just don't have the puck enough. They just do not have the puck enough.
They do here. Down low, step on, looks to center. Tries to maintain possession. Good hounding defensive work. Cam Barker was the one on step on. Rangers still in possession with Prust. Cross ice it goes. Far corner for Bell. Now step on behind the net. Banks it off the net. Prust looks for Eminger down from his point spot, and that'll lead to an odd man rush the other way. Nugent Hopkins down the left side, waits all the way across, and that pass deflected away by Eberle, who had an open net but wasn't able to convert. And now a penalty in the neutral zone as Stepan came together with Taylor Hall, and Hall took down Stepan, and the Rangers will go on a power play with 2:39 remaining in the third. Rangers had an opportunity. Andy Sutton, though, got in the way.
Well, this young Oiler team, they're trying to learn how to win and protect leads. Their last couple of games, they were ahead 1-0 against the Calgary Flames. Calgary scored 2 late goals in the third period to win it 2-1. And then against Minnesota, their last game, 1-0 until just over a second remaining. Danny Heatley scored to tie it, and then Minnesota won in the shootout. So they've had trouble finishing games off when they've had leads.
And if the Rangers are going to do it to Edmonton tonight, they're going to have to score on this power play. 2:39 remaining. Taylor Hall in the box for interference. Rangers have Richards, Callahan, Gaborik, Girardi, and Delzato on ice.
Should they pull the goalie here, boys?
Number 4, Taylor Hall.
We'll keep an eye on it. Not yet, as the Oilers able to slide the puck down ice. Girardi back for it.
I think they're going to give this power play, Dave, a minute or so to see if they can get something going first. The only problem with pulling the goaltender now is that Edmonton can shoot it down the ice, and if they do score, then the game's over.
Right.
They still have a chance right now if they can get one on this power play, make it a 2-1 game.
Puck popped out in front, but a baseball swing knocks it all the way down ice. Sean Morkoff doing it. So Biron does go to the bench. Rangers with another skater. 6-on-4. Bobby Boulin stuck up the glove and missed it. All the way around, Brad Richards.
Like I said, Dave, good time to pull the goaltender.
It's interesting that extra guy is Prust. Prust behind Gaborik, I think, has been the most effective forward.
Brandon Prust gets taken out of the play by Corey Potter. Now up the boards, but not far enough. Oilers look to clear and shoot into the open net, and that one flipped wide.
By the way, the positive report that we get on Henrik Lundqvist is that he was cramping up, and it's nothing serious.
Well, that is good.
How about that for great news?
That is good news.
Toward the open net, that one just wide as well. A minute 20 remaining in the game, 40 seconds remaining in the penalty. Rangers have generated nothing so far. Ryan Smith intercepts, maintains possession, and backs it up. There's a delayed penalty upcoming on the Rangers, a hook when Smith had the puck.
He got hooked by Dubinsky, I believe.
So that'll effectively wrap things up as Boyle touches up with a minute 3 remaining. And the Ranger power play, which had 24 seconds remaining, is over as Dubinsky goes to the box.
Now Ryan Smith, when he takes it, you'll see him make a little move right here, and then there's Dubinsky with the stick. And the call against Brandon Dubinsky. Marty Biron comes back onto the ice and into the net for the Rangers. 4-on-4 for the next 24 seconds.
That sure is good news on Lundqvist if that's the deal.
Yeah, isn't it, though?
No, it really is. I'll tell you, I guess if one guy was going to cramp up, it'd probably be Henrik. He's been a very busy Cowboy.
2 minutes for holding.
Marty Biron still on the Rangers bench as the Rangers cleared it up the ice. So 43 seconds remaining in the game. Rangers have the extra skater on ice, but they have the empty net. Derek Stepan into the zone. His shot, kick saved by Khabibulin, left toe. Fedotenko put it toward net. 30 seconds remaining in the game. Now Taylor Hall. Ranger net is empty. Hall skates around McDonough into the Ranger zone. And McDonough catches up. Now Tim Erickson. Winds it around. 15 seconds remaining. Oilers back into their own zone. Smith for Hall. Toward the empty net. That one wide. 5 seconds remaining. Erickson takes it. Up the boards it goes. Crowd on their feet. And that'll do it. So Tom Rennie, who admitted it'll never just be just another game when the Rangers are the opponent, leaves the ice a happy man. A 2-0 win. The Oilers beat the Rangers. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins in the second period, former Ranger Corey Potter in the third, and the shutout for Nikolai Khabibulin, who stopped all 19 Ranger shots on goal.
Now for Khabibulin, he's allowed 3 goals in regulation time in the 4 games that he has played. For the Rangers, they didn't sustain enough offensive zone pressure. They did not get enough scoring chances in this game. It's been a theme throughout here in the early part of the season. Henrik Lundqvist plays to keep this team in it, but they just simply didn't generate enough. And I think the key part of this game is when the Rangers had the 5-on-3 for nearly a minute and really didn't generate a good scoring chance during that 5-on-3. They missed the opportunity there. They're going to have to find a way to start scoring some goals.
So the Rangers shut out here in Edmonton, 2-0 the final. We've got plenty more to come from Edmonton. Stick around, and then Hockey Night Live will follow. We're back here in Edmonton in a moment, 2-0 the final.